Challah, Perek Daled, Mishnah Zayin. Surya was an area close by to Eretz Yisrael, which David HaMelech conquered. Prior to conquering the whole land of Eretz Yisrael, he conquered this land called Aram Tzovar, Aram Naharayim, and he annexed it to Eretz Yisrael. Strictly speaking, it did not have the Kedusha of Eretz Yisrael. However, the Chachomim made certain gezeres, comparing it and giving it halachas as if it was Eretz Yisrael. Says the Mishnah, Yisrael shohoyu arisim lagoyim or la'ovdei kechovim b'Surya. If there were Yisraelim, Yidden, who were sharecroppers to non-Jews who owned the land in Syria. What's this oris or arisim in the plural? These were people who joined the real owner of the land, and they, by working the land, were allowed a certain percentage normally of the crops. In some instances, they may even have owned the land jointly. But generally, they were taking a certain percentage of crops from the land by working the land. So what happened? Yisrael did this. Yisraelim were sharecroppers for these goyim in Syria. Rabbi Eliezer machayev peirusein b'maisrus u'b'shviyis. Rabbi Eliezer says that the Chachomim said that Syria is exactly like Eretz Yisrael. It's close by Eretz Yisrael. If people didn't take Trumas HaMaisrus, others may be more lenient in Eretz Yisrael itself. So they said, Machayev Peruseim b'maisrus u'b'shviyis. However, Rabbi Gamliel says, no, it's exempt. Why? Because Chazal did not make Syria like Eretz Yisrael. Only if the land was owned totally by a Yisrael, then and only then did Trumas HaMaisrus need to be taken. But otherwise it was not like Eretz Yisrael. There's another halacha. In Eretz Yisrael, one takes challah from the dough, from the bread. In Chutz La'aretz, there's a halacha, more about this in the coming Mishnah. 2 challahs should be taken. 1 challah would be taken and burnt because Chachomim said that all the land in Chutz La'aretz should be considered tomei, and therefore the doughs would be tomei as well, and therefore anything growing from Chutz La'aretz and then made into dough, bread, would be chayav challah, midrabanon, but it would need to be burnt, because it would be tameah. At the same time, 1 challah should be given to a kohen, so that people should not forget the halachas of challah. But Torah challah is only applicable to dough in Eretz Yisrael, dough from Eretz Yisrael. So, in Eretz Yisrael, one takes 1 challah, and it's b'mekayim the mitzvah. If it's tahira, it's given to a kohen, the kohen enjoys it. In Chutz La'aretz, 2 challahs. Rabbi Gamliel Oimer, Rabbi Gamliel says, Shtei chalos b'Surya. As he said before, that Syria was not considered to be Eretz Yisrael, unless owned totally by Yid. As it's not considered to be Eretz Yisrael, Shtei chalos should be taken generally from dough in Eretz Yisrael, in Syria. Rabbi Eliezer says, no, chalo achas. It should be considered like Eretz Yisrael for this halacha too, and therefore only one challah needs to be taken. So Rabbi Eliezer, following his earlier view, where he generally considered Surya like Eretz Yisrael. The people in Surya, ochazu kuloi shel Rabban Gamliel, v'kuloi shel Rabbi Eliezer. They behaved and took the leniency of Rabban Gamliel in the first part of this Mishnah, where he said that generally crops from Surya would be exempt from Trumas HaMaisros because the land would not be considered Eretz Yisrael. V'kulo shel Rabbi Eliezer, the leniency of Rabbi Eliezer in the second part of this Mishnah, where he said it's like Eretz Yisrael, and therefore only one challah needs to be taken and given to a kohen. However, the Gemara says in Eruvin that people who look for leniencies and take this one's leniency and this one's leniency, such a person is considered a Rasha. And therefore, Chozru linhoig kedivrei Rabban Gamliel. They went back, they changed, and they paskened in both instances like one particular Tana, the Tana Rabban Gamliel, who says in the first part of the Mishnah that Surya is like Chutz La'oretz and therefore potter from Trumas HaMaisros. But the Chumrah that would fall from that, as it is like Chutz La'oretz, Shtei Chalus would need to be taken. So Chozru Linho Kedivrei Rabban Gamliel Bishtei Drachim in both those cases mentioned in the Mishnah.